Welcome to the How to Succeed in Business and Health channel. Bald on Bitcoin here. It's good to be back, and it takes something really significant to make me get back online and share it with people, knowing that projects come and go. As I've been waiting for some projects to return, I realized that the only thing that makes sense is working smarter, and that is now dealing with something that you've never heard of before. And if you have heard of smart contracts, the best part about it is that it removes human error. The reason I opened up with this illustration here is because the Bitcoin train is about to take off. If you missed the inception in 2009, especially in 2010, this is now an opportunity for you to be on board with something that's as great, and that is staking. So, all of the projects that I've done in the past, everything that had to do with centralization and normal banking, all of that's out the window because decentralized banking, decentralized financing is the future. And that's the future that we're going to be presenting this evening, talking about a company that has shown that it's going to pay what it says it's going to pay. And all we have to do is wait. So let's talk about Solnex, and please do not get it confused with Sonex Global. Okay, that is not what this is. This is Sonex B. All right, and that has to be mentioned on the forefront because there are so many other Solnexes out there. So let's be sure that we are talking about Solnex B. First and foremost, a disclaimer: I'm not a financial advisor. What I do is I analyze projects and share them with individuals who are like minded, and then I prove, give proof of my payments along the way. They follow me on a journey, but you have to decide to follow that journey with me because I'm not a financial expert nor a legal financial advisor. Solnex is a DeFi staking platform, DeFi being abbreviated for decentralized financing. And staking is when assets are held on the blockchain for a certain amount of time to reap rewards. The roadmap of Solnex is quite interesting. This company did not pop up overnight. Quarter one of 2024 was the development in banking partnerships with the SBI, the HDFC, the ICICI, PNB, and BOB banks. That was completed. And quarter two of last year, 2025, was the official launch of Solana and BSC, Binance Smart Chain contract integration. That has been completed. Then in quarter three through quarter four of last year, the promotion of getting 15 times the capital with a goal of having 50,000 users. It says in progress, but that has already been reached. And in quarter one, 2026, is when there's going to be an implementation of a mobile app and an expansion into Asian regions. The lending model for Solnex is quite interesting as well. Remember, I said this is something that you've never heard before. You have to completely change your mindset when it comes to how you look at money and how you looked at making money in a banking system. The money we lend does not belong to us. Solnex acts as a technology intermediary between investors and financial institutions. Through our active employment contracts with Solana and Binance Smart Chain blockchains, we obtain lines of credit from the largest Indian banks. Users sign employment contracts with these banks, using the bank's money as a staking credit. So, to paraphrase that, we are going to be the recipients of a contract that has been funded by banks. This project is an Indian project, and there's 5 Indian banks. Those banks are the State Bank of India, HDFC Bank, the ICICI Bank, the Punjab National Bank, and the Bank of Baroda. Now, I want to give you some vetting results with the banks that are affiliated with Solnex. One of our national leaders who is in our group, he has an attorney, a frat brother, who is an attorney for the SEC, who has a colleague that's the unit chief for the Federal Cybersecurity Department. And with his expertise, he was able to track 3 of the 5 banks' IP addresses to Sonex. And I believe that is powerful, even though Indian banks and the Indian government have completely different regulations depending on where you reside. But that stood out to me because once this cybersecurity expert chief decided to do his due diligence, he in turn involved himself with Solnex and got on board with the contracts as well. So I think that is a really good testimony right there. Now, when we talk about contracts, what is a smart contract? It's a digital agreement stored on a blockchain that runs automatically when its conditions are met, removing the need for a middleman. Now, in past ventures, we've always had these middlemen. We had to jump through hoops to either sell a product or to get a product or to reap benefits of a stock trade or download software and then pay for brokerage fees. This is the opposite. With the smart contract, it is built on the blockchain. It is code that cannot be corrupted. And that removes the human error. And like a contract, most contracts have a time limit. And the time limit of a Solnex smart contract is a year, 12 months. So let's talk about the contracts that we can activate through Solnex. Let's choose our investment plan. You have Section A, which is standard contracts. And for a contract, a startup contract is $50. The bank loans $16,400 into the smart contract. That averages out as $19.18 daily. And at the end of 12 months, that is $7,000 for a one-time fee of $50. Moving on to the Pro contract, that is $100. The bank loans $35,200 into the smart contract. That averages out to $41.10 daily. And at the end of 12 months, that is a total of $15,000. And that is from a $100 activation fee. As far as the staking balance is split in 2 coins on 2 different blockchains. 60% goes into the BNB chain and 40% goes into the Solana chain. All contracts are for 365 days, and at this moment, we're allowed to have unlimited contracts. When you create your account, you'll see the options that you have at Solnex. The first being the starter for $50. So you have your $50 contract. And then as you see here, it'll tell you your daily profit and that in 1 year, your expectancy is $7,000. They also will have a countdown where you can see the percentage of your progress. And it's going to be the same with the $100 contract. You'll be able to select that. It'll show you right as simple as possible your daily profit, what's expected. We know that 60% of the contract, because this is a $35,000 loan that is going into this contract, 60% of it is going into BNB, and the other remaining 40% is going to be staked in Solana. Section B, promotional contracts. Now, this is just for a limited time, and this is going back to the 15th time, the capital, because you pay $500, which is a total of 10 $50 contracts. Solnex will credit you an additional $250, which is equivalent to 5 more contracts. There's a total value of $750 with a daily profit of $287.70, with the yearly result, your total year profit, of $105,000. And you can get that for $500 now as long as the promotion lasts. Secondly, with the promotion for $1,000, that is 10 individual $100 contracts, Solnex is going to credit you 5 additional more or an additional $500, bringing that total value to $1,500 for a daily profit of $616.50, which at the end of 12 months is $225,000. So to sum it up, you buy 10, you get 5 free, be it the Promo Startup or be it the Promo Pro. And as long as the promotion runs, this will be available. And as of this recording, there's approximately 198 days remaining for this promotion. But again, contracts are still unlimited as of now. There is no cap on the limit of contracts we can activate. So look at these numbers. $50 contract, you make roughly $19 a day. $100 contract, $41 a day. $500 contract, now this is the contract bundle, that's $287 a day. And your $1,000 contract bundle, where you can make $616 a day. There is a 1% withdrawal fee. So at the end of your term, at the end of the contract, at the end of your 12 months, it is just 1% to withdraw. And that is unheard of. They also have a provision called internal transfer, where you can transfer amounts throughout your back office once you sign up and register to other members within the Solnex community. But we'll touch on that in another video. Think of smart contracts like a digital vending machine. You input the correct payment and the machine delivers the agreed product, service, or asset. This automated process boosts efficiency and removes the need for intermediaries. So when you try to think how or rationalize how your $50 or your $100 is going to yield $7,000 or $15,000, it's because it's a contract. It's supposed to do that. And unless certain criterion are met, then the contract won't fail. Pardon me, the contract will fail. Let me rephrase that. If all the criterion is not met, then a contract fails. And that is why I want to give the illustration of a vending machine. It's a contract. There is no person, there's no manager, there's no spokesman for the company, there's no mascot standing next to the machine when you do the transaction, because it's coded. It gives you the product you select. Even if you select the wrong product, it's going to give you that product as long as you have that balance, and then it's also going to dispense change as well. It's going to give you your change, and all that happens without anyone there, any intermediary present. And that is how your smart contracts work. We'll touch on that a little bit more in a second. To sign up to Solnex, like a typical contract, you need a signature. But with Solnex, you just need an email address and a password, because this is decentralized. It's a decentralized platform. It is the opposite of your centralized banking, where they needed your social security, address, work history, credit score, perhaps even criminal history. It all changes when it comes to decentralization, because all the contracts need is someone to activate it. And that's us, with our signature and our email address, which would be equivalent to our email address. and our password. And be sure you write those down, because without those two components, you will not be able to access your account. They may allow a feature to change your password, but still be responsible and write it down. With the amount of money that is going to be made on this platform, why not write it down? Consider your email, your account number, and consider your password, your routing number. You just need those in order to access your account. But once that account is activated, guess what? Instantly, the contract is financed by the 5 banks. Then from there, automation begins and staking on the blockchain happens instantly. At the end of the contract, the bank gets their money back. Those thousands that they put into the contract to generate this type of staking results, they get that back. And that is why Solnex is built to last, because they can do this over and over again. And repetition. Keep that in mind. And then at the end, just like with the vending machine, after everything goes through, we get our profits. And the investor retains 100% of the gains, which is $77,000 for the $50 contract and 15 grand for the $100 contract. As a recap, 7 grand for the 1 year, 15 grand for the 1 year $100 contract, $105,000 for the 1 year $500 bundle, and $225,000 for the 1 year $1,000 bundle, and contracts are unlimited. If you want to increase your revenue with Sonex, they have a provision in a very, very nice commission and compensation plan. It's 30% for your first line of direct referrals. It is 5% on your second or indirect line of referrals. But the best part about this, that to me is extremely beneficial, is that you get paid on the back end as well. You will get paid 10% on the amount that your first level withdraws. So if they withdraw $1,000, you get $100. If they withdraw $10,000, you get $1,000. So that is really, really nice as well. You can unlock additional bonuses by having $10,000 in your volume on your first level, and you will receive instantly $5,500. That is a big incentive for those who wish to share. Now, I'm not dwelling on this part a little too much, at least not this evening. But the back end is very lucrative because you get 10% on your withdrawals. But keep in mind, it's the contracts. This came out the mouth of a national leader on our team. It's the contracts still that are the biggest bang for your buck, especially when it takes the risk out, because these contracts aren't in our name. We only signed up with an email and a password. Okay. Also, I didn't mention much about their leadership in India. I don't live there. I probably will never meet these individuals, but these are their names, these are their titles, and it's still a decentralized platform. Even though we see their names, the images most likely are not accurate, because why would their faces be up there? These are just iconic representations of the leadership. But again, the banks have been vetted, regardless of what image is displayed by whichever name. The banks have been vetted, and that is where my assurance lies with Solnex paying out within a year, especially when they get their loan back. The banks get their money back, and then they just constantly repeat the process. One thing that Solnex has issued was a profit guarantee, and that's stating that Solnex guarantees the minimum profit shown for each contract. If actual staking returns are lower, Solnex will cover the difference. I want to thank you for viewing this small presentation. I'm not big into the editing and bells and whistles. That's not what my channel is. My channel is hard facts. And I hope that this gave you a small introduction with Solnexb. We have live Zooms Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The team consists of almost all the leaders around us right now, and is something where you can see for yourself how fast withdrawals are. You get all type of held by the hand presentations on how to navigate. But I also wanted to share that subscribing to this channel, I will also help you and hold you by the hand with Solnex. Again, this concept is big. This concept is very big. Not too many people are aware of it, but you have to change your mindset first. But in order to be successful in business and your health, you have to be around someone that's done that before, that has shown you the way. So, month one, that video's coming. Month two, that video's coming. Month three, all the way up to the year when my contracts expire. And I'm going to walk you through it just like I have with all my projects. But smart contracts are the future, and smart contracts are the smart way to make money. In 2026, you have a 1 year contract, so that is next summer of 2027. And then once you get your $7,000, buy more bundles. Even if the promotion no longer exists, which it wouldn't, buy more bundles next year when your contract comes to fruition. Baldwin Bitcoin here. Solnex is the project. Woke me out of hibernation for it. Let's go. The sign up link will be in the registration. And always, please get a hold of me before making any deposits, or at least watch the how to deposit videos coming in the near future. Let's walk this journey together.